Hello, quick video tonight. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the stress that a lot of students, children, will be probably feeling tonight. Because to be quite honest, it's probably quite similar to the stress that I feel every Sunday night. The stress of knowing that you've got school the next morning with all of the wonderful noisy surprises and expectations that brings. So I just thought I'd talk about that a little bit. Obviously, I seem to be focusing quite a lot on adult autism at the moment on Twitter, and I think that's probably the direction that the book is going to go in. But obviously the experience of autistic children is a massively important thing. So what's it like going to school on a Monday morning when you are autistic? I think the thing to bear in mind more than anything is that chances are actually that a lot of autistic students will probably, or certainly want to be, going into school following a very, very, very set routine that they are very, very, very familiar with. And this routine will bring them tremendous comfort. And that's everything. That's from waking up to entering the school building, to sitting down in their tutor room, to the register being taken. Okay. The students who are able then to kind of get on with the rest of the day without being too stressed are going to be those that probably have had a really nice, familiar structure to their day so far. They will have got up at the same time as normal. They will have had probably the same thing for breakfast. They'll have got dressed and maybe had a shower and all the rest of it in exactly the same order as they always do. And because this familiarity brings tremendous comfort and an opportunity for that overloaded brain, because I'm increasingly of the opinion that one of the biggest things about autism is just having a brain that just won't shut up, just won't leave you alone, for any amount of time at all. It's like constantly going, often in a good way, often in a tremendously unhelpful way. But if you've got that routine and you're not also having to think, oh God, I need to clean my teeth now. Oh God, I need to have a shower. If you've got that routine, you haven't got any of that happening. So you've taken a whole load of processing that your brain would otherwise have to do. You've taken it away from your brain. You're kind of saying to your brain, right, don't worry about any of this. We're just going to do it on autopilot. You don't have to think about it. It's just going to happen, okay? Because it happens every day the same way. So all of that potential stress, all of that kind of processing weight that your brain has to handle is lightened. So if you happen to have autistic children in your family, running around, then be mindful of that. Make sure as far as you possibly can that morning routine is as set as it can possibly be. We all know there are things that can get in the way. All it takes is for the cat to be sick, or a little sibling to draw all over the walls with, well, hopefully a crayon, if nothing worse, and all hell can break loose. But I guess the thing is, if something like that does happen, something unexpected, try to absorb it. If you yourself are neurotypical or autistic, but older and therefore able to kind of absorb that stress, then do it. Absorb all of that so they don't have to deal with it, okay, in any way. So their routine can just go as usual. Okay, then they will get to school, hopefully. That they'll walk into school, and the moment they walk through the school doors, you see, in most schools, certainly in the best schools, they'll be entering a world of tremendous set routine that they will actually probably quite like. I'm pretty certain that's why I'm a teacher. Not consciously, it's not like I thought to myself at the age of 23, right, what I need is an extraordinarily rigid set of circumstances every day that keeps me on the straight and narrow. That wasn't the case. Actually, I just wanted the money that you got for training, and I also quite like the idea of talking at people for a long time about all sorts of fun things. But I think the reason I've stayed in it, and the reason that it's kind of suited me so well, relatively, is because I thrive in that structured, well-organized environment. every hour of my day, and it's the same for the kids, is structured. The bell, you've got bells going off. I mean, okay, bells aren't great for the noise, but you've literally got a bell going off saying, now you need to do this. I mean, that's like an autistic dream. Imagine that, having a bell going off to instruct you kind of clearly, this is what you need to do now, okay? And where you've got teachers who are kind and warm and supportive and all the rest of it, you've also got, a bunch of adults around saying, now underline the title. Now I want you to do this. I mean, I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's true that a lot of autistic children and autistic adults, we like that kind of thing. It removes us having to think for ourselves too much. Not because we're lazy or because we can't think for ourselves. We can think for ourselves too bloody much, quite frankly. The point is, because we are always thinking so much about so many things, so many pointless things. I was in Tesco like a couple of days ago, and I noticed that they had an old entrance. It had been boarded up. This is boring. I mean, you may as well skip this next minute or so because it's boring. But I'd noticed this, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had to look for in the store clues as to how this all used to work, how the doors used to be over there. It turns out they just covered where the doors used to be with a cooler full of chocolate eclairs and yogurts. But that kind of absolutely hijacked my brain. When that's going on all the time, having someone say to you, now you need to write your name and write me a few paragraphs on the importance of Lady Macbeth based on all this stuff we've been talking about for weeks now. That's bliss. That is bliss. That's like, yes, thank you. Don't mind me. Obviously, not all autistic children get on at school. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a magical kind of place where all autistic children thrive, because they really obviously don't. But I think that one thing that does help all autistic children is the routine. There are plenty of other reasons why autistic children might struggle at school, don't get me wrong, but I think the routine is not one of them. I think the routine actually helps them a great deal. And I think that if you really want an autistic child to succeed in school, then that's something that you really want to foreground and make a big deal of. So this has been longer than I thought it would be, perhaps because I talked about Tesco's refurbishment for rather too long, but there we go. But there we are. They're just a thing to think about, okay, for tomorrow morning and subsequent mornings. Routine, the value of routine. Make sure it's there as much as you possibly can, okay, and hopefully then you will see the benefit of that. Okay, right, I'm going to go then now. I'll see you another time. Thank you. Bye-bye.